In the depths of space, an advanced alien civilization known as the Zorath detected intriguing signals emanating from a distant blue planet. Energized by the prospect of encountering a new species, the Zorathians dispatched their finest expedition team to investigate and initiate first contact. As their sleek, crystalline ship entered Earth's atmosphere, the Zorathians were filled with a sense of superiority. Based on their long-range scans, they assumed the human species would be primitive, perhaps wielding nothing more than rudimentary tools. They couldn't have been more wrong. The alien landing craft touched down in the heart of a sprawling human metropolis, towering skyscrapers of glass and steel gleaming in the sunlight. The expedition leader, Xyloth, emerged from the ship, his iridescent eyes widening in disbelief at the advanced structures surrounding him. A delegation of humans, led by the renowned diplomat Evelyn Novak, approached the awestruck Zorathians. Clad in sophisticated attire and bearing an air of quiet confidence, Evelyn extended a hand in greeting. "Welcome to Earth," she said warmly, her words translated seamlessly by the Zorathians' advanced linguistic algorithms. "We've been expecting you." Xyloth, momentarily stunned by the human's poise and the implications of her statement, quickly regained his composure. He returned the gesture, marveling at the firm grip of Evelyn's hand. As the two groups exchanged pleasantries and began to discuss the nature of their encounter, Xyloth couldn't shake a nagging feeling of unease. The humans' technology, while not as aesthetically refined as their own, was clearly far more advanced than they had anticipated. Had they underestimated this seemingly young species? Uneasy coexistence. In the weeks following first contact, human and Zorathian officials worked tirelessly to establish diplomatic relations. Knowledge and cultural exchanges began in earnest, with both sides eager to learn from one another. However, as the Zorathians delved deeper into human history, they grew increasingly disturbed by the species' violent past. Tales of great wars, genocides, and atrocities filled their databases, painting a grim picture of a civilization that had clawed its way to the top of its planet's food chain. Xyloth, now serving as the Zorathian ambassador to Earth, found himself in the midst of heated debates with his fellow diplomats. Some argued that the humans were too dangerous, their unpredictable nature making them a liability to the galactic community. Others maintained that the past was the past, and that humanity had clearly outgrown its barbaric tendencies. As tensions simmered, Evelyn Novak worked tirelessly to bridge the growing divide. She arranged cultural exchange programs, scientific collaborations, and joint exploration missions, hoping to foster a sense of unity and shared purpose between the two species. Despite her efforts, Xyloth couldn't shake the feeling that the fragile alliance was teetering on the brink of collapse. The more he learned about humanity, the more he came to fear their potential. In the back of his mind, a question gnawed at him: had they made a grave mistake in contacting this species? The spark of conflict, the uneasy peace between humans and Zorathians, was shattered by a tragic misunderstanding. On a joint exploration mission to a distant world, a human soldier, acting on instinct, fired upon a Zorathian researcher who had made a sudden, unexpected movement. The researcher died instantly, and the news of the incident spread like wildfire. Hardliners on both sides seized upon the tragedy, using it as fuel for their agendas. Human supremacist groups, long resentful of the Zorathians' perceived superiority, called for the expulsion of all aliens from Earth. Zorathian warhawks, meanwhile, saw the incident as proof of human aggression and pushed for a preemptive strike to neutralize the threat. Diplomacy crumbled as both sides mobilized their forces. The Zorathians, confident in their technological might, launched a series of surgical strikes against human military installations. To their shock and horror, they found themselves outmatched by the sheer ingenuity and adaptability of human warfare. Human-made AI-driven warships, with processing power far beyond anything the Zorathians had encountered, tore through their fleet with ruthless efficiency. On the ground, human soldiers, augmented by advanced exoskeletons and wielding devastating energy weapons, proved to be more than a match for the Zorathian ground forces. As the war escalated, the Zorathians found themselves pushed back on all fronts. Their once proud fleet lay in ruins, their ground forces scattered and demoralized. In the chaos of battle, they had learned a terrible lesson. They had grossly underestimated the capabilities of their enemy. Humanity unleashed. What the Zorathians had hoped would be a swift and decisive victory turned into a brutal, protracted war. Humanity, faced with an existential threat, unleashed the full might of its military-industrial complex. Factories churned out advanced weaponry and ships at an astonishing rate, while research labs worked around the clock to develop new and terrifying instruments of war. The Zorathians, their supply lines cut and their reinforcements dwindling, found themselves on the defensive. On the front lines, human soldiers fought with a ferocity and determination that shocked the Zorathians. They adapted to the aliens' tactics with uncanny speed, devising countermeasures and exploiting weaknesses with ruthless efficiency. In the depths of space, human stealth ships, equipped with advanced cloaking technology, wreaked havoc on the Zorathian fleet. Striking from the shadows, they crippled supply ships, destroyed command centers, and sowed chaos in the enemy's ranks. As the war dragged on, the Zorathians began to realize the true nature of the enemy they faced. Humanity, they learned, was not a species to be trifled with. When pushed to the brink, when their survival was threatened, humans became something terrifying, a relentless, unyielding force of nature. The Zorathian leadership, their once unshakable confidence shattered, began to ponder the possibility of defeat. They had awoken a slumbering beast, and now they faced the consequences of their hubris. Apex predators. Battered, bloodied, but unbroken, the Zorathians finally accepted the inevitable. With their fleet in tatters and their ground forces decimated, they had no choice but to sue for peace. The negotiations were tense, with human leaders driving a hard bargain. In the end, the Zorathians were forced to accept humiliating terms: a complete withdrawal from human space, heavy reparations, and strict limits on their military capabilities. As the dust settled, a new galactic order emerged, one in which humanity stood as the undisputed apex predator. The Zorathians, once proud and confident, found themselves relegated to a second-tier power, their influence diminished and their reputation tarnished. In the halls of power on Earth, leaders grappled with the implications of their newfound status. Some called for restraint, warning against the dangers of hubris and the importance of responsible stewardship. Others, drunk on victory, pushed for an aggressive expansion into the stars, eager to stake humanity's claim to the galaxy. Amidst the turmoil, Evelyn Novak emerged as a voice of reason. Drawing on her years of diplomatic experience, she worked to forge a new path for humanity, one that balanced strength with compassion, ambition with wisdom. As humanity began to rebuild and expand, the Zorathians watched from afar, humbled and chastened by their defeat. In the depths of their collective psyche, a new fear took root: the fear of a universe in which humanity reigned supreme. For the humans, the war had been a crucible, a trial by fire that had forged them into something greater than they had ever been. They had looked into the abyss, faced the specter of annihilation, and emerged stronger, wiser, and more united than ever before. As they turned their gaze to the stars, the people of Earth knew that they were ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. They had proven themselves to be the apex predators of the galaxy, and now nothing could stand in their way. A new frontier. In the aftermath of the Zorathian War, humanity found itself at a crossroads. With their erstwhile adversaries humbled and their position as the galaxy's dominant species secured, they faced a choice: to retreat into isolationism and savor their hard-won peace, or to embrace their newfound status and expand into the stars. The debate raged in the halls of power and in the streets of Earth's cities. Some, scared by the horrors of war, argued for a more cautious approach, insisting that humanity should focus on healing and rebuilding. Others, their eyes gleaming with the promise of new frontiers, pushed for an aggressive expansion, eager to claim humanity's rightful place in the galaxy. Amidst the tumult, a new leader emerged, a visionary who sought to bridge the divide and chart a course for humanity's future. Her name was Area Solaris, and she had risen from the ashes of the war to become one of Earth's most respected and influential figures. Under Aria's guidance, humanity embarked on a new era of exploration and discovery. Sleek, powerful ships, propelled by the latest advances in faster-than-light technology, ventured forth into the void, their crews composed of the best and brightest Earth had to offer. They encountered wonders beyond their wildest dreams. Ancient alien ruins, brimming with advanced technology, lush, verdant worlds teeming with exotic life, and strange, enigmatic species that challenged their understanding of the universe. But they also faced dangers, for the galaxy was not without its perils. Rogue Zorithian factions, still bitter over their defeat, launched guerrilla attacks against human outposts. Strange, eldritch horrors lurked in the depths of space, their very existence an affront to sanity. And always, the specter of war loomed, as other species, wary of humanity's growing power, eyed them with a mixture of fear and envy. Through it all, Area Solaris stood firm, her vision unwavering. She forged alliances with friendly species, brokered peace with former enemies, and always pushed forward, driven by an unshakable belief in humanity's potential. And as the years turned into decades, and the decades into centuries, humanity's influence grew. They became known as the Guardians of the Galaxy, a force for order and stability in a chaotic and uncertain universe. Their ships patrolled the space lanes, their armies stood ready to defend the weak and the innocent, and their scientists unlocked the secrets of the cosmos. But even as they reveled in their triumphs, the people of Earth never forgot the lessons of the Zorithian War. They remembered the price of hubris, the toll of conflict, and the importance of compassion and understanding in a universe filled with wonders and terrors alike. And so, as humanity stood on the threshold of a new and glorious future, they faced it with a mixture of pride and humility, their eyes fixed on the horizon, and their hearts filled with the promise of all that lay ahead. For they knew that they were not just the apex predators of the galaxy, but its guardians and protectors as well, a shining beacon of hope in an often dark and uncertain universe.